Are we live? It says live. It says live, damn it. We'll do it live. Let me get the link
It's
and
live.
then we'll get started. So I can tweet out the new link. There we go. Yep, Shanzu's here, so we're good. All right. Tweet that. All right. Oh, we got 6 people already. Sick. All right, this is good. This is very good. This is much better than Restream nonsense. So let us begin. Welcome, everyone, to 4GwQPodcast. This is episode number 132 for Thursday, the 27th day of the 4th month of the 2017 year. I won't go on with the rest. I don't even know the rest. Anyway, so we've got our usual cast of characters, but before I introduce them, I shall announce what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about Outlast 2, which Assassin got a chance to play. I don't know if Clowns did, but we have some thoughts on that, so we will, go ahead and go through with that. We'll also talk about the COD World War II reveal, which apparently a lot of people are really hyping up as the best COD ever, but I don't see it. Spoiler alert. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Project Scorpio screens. Not exactly from Scorpio hardware per se, I don't think, but just demonstrations on what to expect from Scorpio were shown on WindowsCentral.com by our guy Jez over there. He's a great guy. He had a story on this. So we'll talk about those pictures. If you haven't seen them, we'll have those up on the podcast. If you have, then definitely feel free to give your opinions in the chat. We'll talk about games of gold versus PlayStation Plus for the month of May, and we'll also discuss the new Forza Horizon 3 DLC coming on May 9th that is Hot Wheels, believe it or not, but looks badass no matter what age you are. So we'll talk about those 5 things. Probably going to be on the quicker side because I'm looking to watch the NFL draft. So but
Go Eagles.
So without further ado, let me introduce the man of the hour, I should say, making his 132nd straight appearance. The man of the past 4 hours, I meant to say.
Yeah.
He's been streaming on the 4 Guys Twitch channel for the past couple hours, and now he's here to make another hourly visit with us. ZBCI Assassin, what's going on?
What's up?
We got also making her probably like 80th appearance at this point. Zebra Fries.
Don't
Taylor.
think it's that much.
No, maybe like
Dude, it's only been
50?
a year.
All right, like 50th then? I don't know. I lost track. Taylor was,
I missed a lot of episodes.
and she missed some episodes, so maybe it's like 40, but I was close anyway.
Something like that.
Taylor, what's going on?
Hello.
And last but not least, we've got Italian Clowns with his new PC setup. So we've got Chin Cam tonight, looking great. Clowns, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
He's now self-conscious. He's like raking in his beard, but it's a dope-ass beard, so he shouldn't have any insecurities about it. I wish I could grow out my beard that long, but it just would never happen. Assassin willingly chooses to shave his for some reason. I don't know what his deal is. He likes to go babyface every once in a while, I guess.
No, apparently, what I was told by my family, it was growing like Wolverine's a little bit, so I just shaved it off.
I thought you liked Wolverine. What happened?
I do, but it
Fraud.
Wow.
needs to grow in better.
Wow. All right. Also, before we start the show, I hate to delay the start so much, but gotta get all this stuff in. Check out the affiliate links down below. Shop through those. You don't have to buy what comes up when you click it, but if you shop through those, we get a little bit of a kickback. You don't pay any more money. You pay the same amount of money. We just get like a referral bonus if you go ahead and shop through those links. So check out those links below if you shop at those sites, which I'm sure pretty much everyone who watches this podcast does. That would help us out. So thank you, affiliates. All right, Assassin, you've been waiting for this moment probably since the last game came out. I think you were the biggest fan of Outlast on this panel. We didn't know Taylor then, so I can't attest to that. But Outlast 2 is finally available. It comes in a little more expensive than the last game at $30
Yeah.
on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. You got to play some of it. We have a copy to review, so we'll have a review for that up pretty soon. Yeah, you got to play a little bit of it. Please, Assassin, tell us your impressions so far.
So far, I mean, it's better than the first. It's more open area. You're not stuck in like a building. It has, I think, a more darker tone. Like the last one was just a mental asylum. This one it has more like religious stuff in it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
so some of the characters, like one of the not boss ladies, but like she appears a lot so far. What I played, she's kind of cool. She sounds a little weird, like she smoked too many cigarettes, but and she has like that hole in the throat. But I mean, she's pretty cool so far, and I mean the game looks great. It has some new mechanics with the healing. You can record certain things, and then you can watch them back to get the player you play as. Little voiceover on it. The inventory is new. You can like look at your chest and look at your pockets. There's like a flashback mechanic in the game, and it ties in really well with the game. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna sit, then there's a flashback. Like it really ties in like what you're doing. And
I think that's the
stuff.
coolest part. I think that's the coolest addition. I don't know if that's really what, because I've heard that this game is approximately twice as long on a playthrough as the original Outlast. So I wonder if it's those flashbacks included that kind of like brought it over the top and made it double the experience. But nonetheless, I think it's a really cool inclusion. And
Definitely.
I agree with you. I think from what I've seen prior to the release and what I've seen since it's released, I think just solidifies the fact that those flashbacks are really, really valuable experience and don't feel like they're just thrown in just to add some more playtime. It feels really legit. So definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
All right, continue. Do you have any more to say about this?
I mean, there isn't really much left to say. I've only put like 2 hours into the game, but like I said earlier, it's probably a lot better so far. Like the story seems more like engaging, I guess you could say. It's a little bit more darker, tone to it, and it's actually a lot darker. Like without lights, you can't even see like your feet half the time. So I mean, it's a good game so far.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think, do you like the fact that it's changed from like an asylum setting that the first game had? Because the asylum setting was kind of like the traditional. I don't know. I don't want to say traditional, but like the quintessential like environment for a game like this. You're going through like an insane asylum. Anything can pop out at you. You kind of like have to expect anything to happen. Now you're kind of like going between different environments, really, and it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. Do you like it better this time around so far, or?
Well, it shows how creative Red Barrels, the developers, are. I mean, they could have probably went to another building and done something else that was like the first one, and did something like almost like the story, and they'd probably get shit for it. And everything moved to religion and in an area where probably Taylor has been in Arizona. That's where it takes place.
Oh my God, Taylor's so funny during his live stream earlier. He goes,
Oh no.
he comes upon like a bunch of different cacti, and he's like, "Oh, I bet you Taylor's been here. This looks like somewhere Taylor's been."
I mean, I kind of live in the middle of nowhere. So,
So it's possible.
yeah, maybe my development area before it was developed could have been that.
Really?
Maybe.
Does it fit the mold of like a scary kind of game, that area?
I mean, if you go out a little bit further, yeah.
Wow. Ringing
Little bit.
endorsement for Arizona people right there.
I hate Arizona. You guys know this.
Taylor, what have you seen about the game? Are you a fan of Outlast, first of all? I don't think we know this about you.
I do like the game a lot. I'm terrified to play it, but I'm going to try and do a full play of it on Megan's channel with her.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to actually play the game because she won't play it. She doesn't know how to use an Xbox controller.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's used to Nintendo. She doesn't know how to use it.
So
Megan's freaking out in the chat.
she is freaking out in the chat. I see that. So are you going to have a webcam on her face as she reacts to the craziness that ensues in this game?
Well, we did it for Lego Batman for a little bit on her channel, and I mean we just used like the computer or something to film ourselves with it.
Yeah.
So we'll probably just have that same setup again.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Have a computer film us while we play it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So have you seen anything about Outlast 2 that kind of like entices you, or is this like, I know you don't like FPS kind of games, but this isn't really like a shooter. This is kind of like more like a walking simulator, to be honest, but it's survival as well. So you do actually have to do active things. It's just you don't shoot anything. So does this kind of thing entice you a lot, or?
I've seen the demo. I really like scary games. I just hate playing them. I don't like being the one to play them.
Yeah.
I like watching people play them because I still kind of get the experience, but I don't have to force myself to continue playing it.
Right.
Because it's a different experience when you're actually holding the controller and you have to make the split-second decisions.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I felt that with Outlast 1. I used to watch Assassin stream that every once in a while. There's this other streamer we know that is famous, I guess, for being one of the pioneers of kind of like the upload studio and, streaming from the Xbox platform and stuff. Her name is Sweet Pea. She streamed Outlast. I think she's probably streamed Outlast, like, no joke, 100 times, Assassin.
Yeah.
I don't know how you stream a game that is that linear 100 times, but even like the first couple of times she streamed it and I watched her stream that, I was saying to myself like, oh, this isn't too bad, like I'm experiencing it from afar, it's not really too bad or whatever. And watching Assassin today, like play through the game for an hour or so, I was watching, I'm like, oh, it's not too bad. But then I played Outlast 1 for myself and I'm just like, shit, this is completely different and I don't want anyone to see me playing this. That's how I felt through that one. But yeah, hopefully Megan doesn't get too scared, right?
Yep.
No, I'm the issue when it comes to those.
And you're gonna be the one playing it. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm the issue when it comes to those games.
Nice. So that's what were you gonna say, bud?
I wanted to bring up one more thing.
Yeah, please.
With the game, the music, much better.
So good.
It adds an element to the scariness when you're getting like chased, and it's just so good.
So good. Yeah, the music ramps up perfectly, and you just hear, even over your stream, I could tell you just hear so much more going on around you. Like I don't know if that makes it easier to a point, but at the same time, like it's so suspenseful, so I don't care if it makes it easier. But yeah, and they also give you that microphone, that you can use on the walls or whatever that drains battery. So if you're, strapped for batteries, which you probably will be playing this game. I mean, that's the kind of game it is. If you're not familiar, you have to, ration your batteries, so to speak, because it's so damn dark. You might not want to waste time on the microphone, but I don't know. Have you used the microphone yet, Assassin? Or
there's a part where maybe once or twice, but it's like they mostly have flashlights, so you can kind of see them, and then when you put on night vision, you can see it. So
yeah,
it's not really a huge like deal that they added it, but it's an added feature.
Right. Clowns, what do you think, bud? I don't even know if you're a fan of these Outlast games, really.
I'm not really a fan of them, but I will say that I think they're ingenious. I mean, it's perfect for the market. It's a small little company that made these mega blockbusters, and everybody's buying it up, and it gives people like Assassin like wet spots in their pants because he gets so scared in the dark. But yeah, I mean, like it's a great thing. I think it's good.
It sets a standard for horror games.
Well, funny you say that because one of the good friends of the show and one of my TXR podcast mates, Randall Thor 19, which I'm sure everyone watching this podcast knows, He says he gives it a 9. He says it's his game of the year so far, 2017. He also says it's better than Resident Evil 7. So,
Well, of course,
I believe
than
that.
Resident Evil 7.
Well, I mean, with Resident Evil
Absolutely.
7, like it may have scary moments, but I mean, you have a gun, so you have that protection with you. In Outlast 2, you have a camera on your legs. That's it. You could just run and hide. Like
You can wear a
that
crucifix
adds.
around your neck while you're playing.
Well, you can't add that into the game, so it adds that layer of fear of being chased with someone holding a cross that can like kill you in one shot.
yeah. I hear you on that. I don't know. I don't know. Resident Evil 7, I love Resident Evil 7. I think, I got scared a few moments in that. I usually don't get scared in games. I've been scared by probably like 3 games in my entire life. And one of them's Outlast, and one of them is Resident Evil 7. So I don't know if I don't know if it's going to be better for me than Resident Evil 7. I prefer like the more active kind of game style that Resident Evil 7 has. So, I don't know. Does it look better than Resident Evil 7 Assassin or graphics?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the game's a lot more darker, so most of the time you either see black, like a green with night vision, but when there's actual lights, like that's when the game looks just great.
Yeah.
The shadows of the lights, like a flashlight going across the crops, like, and then with hitting the smoke or fog, it looks great.
Can I ask you something, Assassin? Because you're very familiar with, the crops and everything. So, like, in Wisconsin, did you ever take a camcorder and run through the cornfields?
I tend to stay away from the cornfields because you don't know who's going to be in there, like especially with the clown fiasco that's going across.
The clown fiasco. Wow.
Wow, Assassin. So this really hits home for you, bud. This game it hits home for you in a big way. So you're extra scared going through this one.
It does.
No, I just
Assassin is a child of the corn.
I don't go to farms and start skipping through cornfields singing songs.
Nice. So, like I said, $30, $10 more than the first game was, but they say it's twice as long campaign-wise, so or story-wise. It's not a campaign, you can't call it that, but so the story is twice as long. As far as I know, there are no other modes. Like I could be wrong because I haven't played it. Assassin, are there any other?
There's just 4 game difficulties, just like the first game.
Gotcha. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so is it worth $10 more? Like
Definitely.
Wow. Okay. Some people, for quote unquote indies, right? People are like, oh, $20. That's kind of like the top end, right? So now we see one that's for 30, and you're just kind of like, $30. Like it's hard to swallow an indie, for $30. But Taylor, you said like you're obviously interested in getting it, and you're the one who always complains about money on here, so.
Yeah, I'm really gonna get it. It's a scary game, and I normally don't get scary games, but it'll be funny to let you guys watch me suffer.
Yes, no,
So.
we'll definitely be retweeting that because I'm definitely interested in seeing that.
Yeah.
Clowns, what do you think, bud? 30, fine for an indie like this, or?
No, I think it should be like 15. Maybe 19. I'd go 19, I'd say.
Yeah, I think the sweet spot for a lot of people is 20. I think 30 will scare people away. Like Outlast has a good rep. They delayed this game once. So the suspense is higher. Some people just got off their radar, but at the same time, I think the first Outlast game has a good rep. So I think people may go for the 30. But if this were Outlast 1 and no one had ever heard of it and it was 30. I'm not sure. I think people would be scared away by the 30. I hate to say that, but
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, they're going to look at it and say, like, how much gameplay is there? Is it repetitive gameplay, or is it, like, procedurally generated gameplay each time?
yeah, and it's repetitive. Yeah, there's 4 different difficulties, but, essentially it's linear. I mean, it's not like there are divergent paths or anything, so.
Yeah, so Rand, come on, not Game of the Year, buddy.
Yeah, he's
no
saying
way.
he is. He's saying
No way.
Compared
No
to
way.
the first one had like a lot of areas where you had to flip 2 switches and then go to the main thing. and flip of the main switch to then progress. This one so far hasn't had any repetitive things to get you moving forward so far compared to the other one.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, they've definitely made changes to respond to criticisms of the first game. I think that's definitely apparent in what we've kind of talked about here. And if you watch some streams or whatever, which I suggest you do, if you're not familiar with this kind of game type or you haven't played the first one or whatever, I think they've definitely made some good changes. But man, it is very linear. It is very you're not gonna play this. Once you beat it on the highest difficulty, you're gonna play this again, Assassin. You're gonna go sweet pea on me and stream this 100 times, or?
No, I'm probably play it like once or twice. But I mean, the whole game is like basically story based. So you play it, you get your nice story for like 8 hours, and you're done.
Yeah.
But I mean, we spent $60 on a game that was even more repetitive, like Ghost Recon Wildlands, that was just absolutely terrible. Or Destiny was like 5 hours of story, and it was double the price.
Yeah, I mean, people value things differently for sure. I just think that it sucks that people will just be turned off so badly by a $30 price tag on an indie when, if you just know what it is and, you know how good it really is, you wouldn't be turned off by it. Or same thing with a lot of other, $30 indies. I think Rise and Shine, when that first came out, I think that might have been 30. I would have to look that up. I could be wrong. But there have been $30 games in the past that people are just like, oh, no, 30, screw it, that are good. So I wouldn't, just because it's an indie, I wouldn't necessarily say don't get it, but for 30. But I don't know. I do agree with you, Clowns. It is very linear. So it's definitely how you value it, right? I mean, there are games that have come out that have been 2 hours for $20, right? Some of these walking simulators.
Yep.
So. Yeah. Well, this is like a camcorder simulator. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You're pretty much using the camcorder the whole time, the battery on. Yeah. So it's like flip the switch simulator and the camcorder.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything more about Outlast 2 before we move on?
Get it.
Taylor's gonna get it. We will definitely tweet out that stream that video so that everyone can enjoy the shittery that will go on and the scariness. And
it'll just mostly be crying.
The crying. Assassin. The reason I said shittery is because Assassin posted in his Twitch stream earlier. His title was like, I'm gonna need a change of pants before the podcast or something like that, or something like that. I can't remember what the name of it was, but oh my god, that's good. All right, what next? This is another thing that Assassin has been begging for, and finally got it. Call of Duty World War II finally got a trailer reveal, and everyone's loving it. You gotta hear people. You hear people going crazy. I didn't make a slide of it because I forgot, but I've got the slideshow of the screenshots, and I mean, they look pretty good. It wasn't really anything about multiplayer. There wasn't really any detail about multiplayer, but I must read a tweet that I read online, and I asked Jez if I didn't include this because I didn't want him to hate me for including it if he didn't want me to. So he said, glad Call of Duty got the message. It's the first Call of Duty I'm going to buy day one in a long time. So, and I think a lot of people are saying that on Twitter about this Call of Duty, and a lot of people are really high on this now after seeing that reveal footage and seeing how serious the tone was and stuff.
How long do you think this was in development? Do you think that they decided to go this route after Battlefield 1?
No, because Battlefield 1 was announced a year ago. It takes COD games 2.5, 3 years to make.
Yeah, I think I agree with some people that say that the writing was on the wall, and even though you have these companies still making futuristic games, and this is such a radical switch, but I think they kind of had the market research, and they knew that people wanted this kind of stuff back 2-3 years ago.
Do you guys think though that anybody over at DICE leaked information to a friend or something, maybe over.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I mean, how can they come up with something that, you know, especially the multiplayer mode that they did talk about, which is kind of like operations, right, from Battlefield 1. Like, how do they come up with the same things? You know what I mean? How can they come up
War
with
came from World at War.
Excuse me? What? Say that again?
The game mode War came from World at War.
Explain that, please.
There was a game mode in Call of Duty World at War made by Treyarch that had the same somewhat linear path where two enemies were attacking each other to attack a flag and push them back, or you get pushed back.
Yeah, but this is going to be a whole different scale. Like, this is going to, I'm assuming there's going to be, like, cutscenes and stuff. There's going to be, like, totally different kind of objectives to get. You know what I mean?
I mean, we don't know that for sure.
No, we don't, but... Okay, so say they did take it from World at War and they didn't take it from DICE at all. You don't think that this has some sort of similarities to Battlefield 1 to make you suspicious it hasn't?
No. I mean, Call of Duty steals a lot of things from everything, so, I mean, if they did steal it from Battlefield, I mean, they steal everything. I mean, their headquarters is literally the tower from Destiny.
This is true. The new headquarters thing is essentially the tower from Destiny. You're right. Good comparison.
I mean,
Good
Black
point.
Ops 3, their specialist abilities, most of them came from Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, it's how people execute it, and it looks like based on how people are reacting so strongly to wanting to get this, it seems like, you know, people like the way that this one's executing it, it appears. Let me go to the chat really quick before we get other people in on this. Sobsky says, Middle-Aged Gamer says, I'm so hyped for this game. Sobsky says, the visuals are amazing. It looks very Frostbite 3-ish. So there's another comparison to DICE and Battlefield 1. Middle-Aged Gamer then says, hope the campaign's at least 10 hours. Xbot says, this COD has me thinking I might want this one. So there's a non-COD gamer right there in Xbot 448 that is thinking about getting this. So, I mean, I think that says something about how it showed. Taylor, did you see the trailer or did you watch it?
I did. The visuals look really good and stuff, but I'm not an FPS person.
Right.
So it would be a waste of money for me.
Especially when you get a drop 30 on Outlast, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, the visuals, like, I mean, me and Assassin were talking about this in party chat, and I was thinking the visuals, like, part of me thinks they look great, and part of me thinks it's just the same old, you know? It just reminds me of Call of Duty a lot.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Call of Duty, like graphics, you know, in a way, except updated a little bit.
Yeah, updated, sharpened a lot. I mean, it is very sharp. I mean, when they zoomed in on that guy's face, that looked incredible. All right, that looked incredible. I will give it to them. That looked incredible. And if they can get that kind of realism, they say, yeah, I love how they open up with just a black screen in the middle of those white text, actual in-game footage. Like, why do you have to say that? You know what I mean? People are already going to, like, call you out on that shit. Because I'm calling you out on that. I don't think that's true. Same thing with the, when they did the Battlefront 2 reveal or whatever. Remember? It said in the bottom, like, in-game engine or whatever. And I was like, bullshit it is. Absolutely not. So same thing for this one. But if they can get that kind of facial expression, look, detail in the real game, I'm gonna be impressed. I'm gonna be very impressed. But textures look good. A little muddy, like you'd expect in a Call of Duty game. It is sharp. The explosions look great. So I mean, Xbot asked in the chat, do we think there's finally a new graphics engine? I think there might be. I mean, even though it looks eerily similar. I mean, for those kinds of explosions, Assassin, and that kind of like facial detail in game.
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it would be a risk. I think it would be a risk, but you know, they need to take risks right now. I think Activision needs to take risks. Sledgehammer needs to take risks.
Obviously, they're not taking huge risks because they're still having that stupid season pass.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I'll reserve my comments on that until we get the details on the pricing, because they have a season pass and say it's like $20. I
It's
may
gonna
be
be
for it.
50.
Well,
It's Activision. The number one best-selling game is usually Call of Duty. From Infinite Warfare was the best-selling game. I mean, they make a shit ton of money, and they're like, oh, season pass, you're $50. We don't learn from Blizzard with Overwatch and now Battlefront 2, Titanfall. They're making all this money from microtransactions, but then they could double down on that. And people will still buy it. That's the problem with these people.
yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I agree.
Well, do you guys think, if you guys remember and go back to the interview I did with Chance Glasgow, founder of Infinity Ward, at Orlando IX, he said that he felt that the World War II theme was overdone and oversaturated. He said, how many times are we going to make World War II games? And then he pointed out in one of his speeches that there was more time played on World War II games than World War II lasted in actual battle.
No, okay. I mean, and that's a fair point. Okay, so and Enrique just said that in chat from Basement Radio Arcade Podcast. He says, do you think this game is generic? Remember Medal of Honor? Medal of Honor did World War II. They already did Normandy and that kind of thing. And all this stuff has already been done. So, it is a fair point that, we're going back to what people have already done for games upon games upon games upon games. So is this really what people want? Like, do they just want to repeat this stuff over and over again? And so, Clowns, you watched the trailer, didn't you? Or
I watched some of it. I mean, it looks great. The graphics intrigue me. I am surprised that they didn't try like a World War I or something different. At the same time, I love World War II. It's my favorite war. Sometimes I wish I could have lived during that time frame to see what actually went on. Mm-hmm. But I keep going back to what Chance Glasgow said on that interview, and I keep thinking he's probably right. I mean, this thing has probably been oversaturated, overdone. How many times can you redo the same story, even fictionally?
I mean, trust me, I don't think that this is going to revive Call of Duty at all. I'm with you on that, Clowns. I think that people are going to see how this is, and especially in multiplayer, forget it. To lose the slide, to lose the jumping, all the mechanics that we've once loved. I mean, yeah, could they update it? I mean, we talked about this last week, I think. Could they update it and make it updated mechanics, but lose the slide, lose the jumping, but
I don't think they'll lose the slide.
Dude, I don't think there's going to be a slide in this one. I really don't. If you just think of it, if you just look at how they set up the story, right? And if you want to read a good synopsis of what this game is going to be from what we know so far, I would go to IGN. There's an article in there about an interview that one of their people did, or not an interview, but a whole day that they had at Sledgehammer Games where they learned more about this game. They talk about the story is a 19-year-old kid, just never been in war before. He just is doing this for his country, and this kid is a newbie and doesn't know anything and how to fight or whatever. So, I mean, in one sense, that's a new take on World War II, right? Because everyone who's done World War II games, as far as I know, has done grizzled war veterans that are doing D-Day, and what I mean. It's all experienced people. Now they're doing somebody that's inexperienced. Almost it almost feels like Band of Brothers. I don't know if that's even.
That's what a lot of people are comparing it to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that's a fresh enough take on World War II for people to be okay, this is cool. We'll do World War II again. But Assassin, to your point about the slide thing, you expect a kid who's 19 who doesn't know what the hell he's doing to know how to fucking slide and fire his gun?
Battlefield 1, there was, in the story, there was almost a kid that was a chauffeur before the Great War, and he could slide.
No way. Is that legit?
Yeah. They're sliding in Battlefield 1. I don't think they would take it out just for the campaign.
Yeah, but okay. Okay. I'll give you that. So maybe it's possible. Who knows? Rated Demonic says, fair point, but why do we remaster old games? The reason is most of our current gen of games, is just not good enough to really sustain a market. This game will bring fans back, and that's an interesting point. That's a fairly interesting point.
I mean, it might capture the World at War fans, the ones that really fell in love with Treyarch.
Yeah, I mean, literally everybody who I've talked to about this is like, oh, this is the next coming of Jesus Christ. Like, they don't say it like that, but they talk so well about this game that they're just like ready to go up and get Eucharist. Like, they're just so ready for this game to come out, and people are hyping it up so much. I just feel like hold the horses. Like, I don't think this is going to be as great as you think it is. Like, remember when Modern Warfare Remastered came out and everyone thought that was going to be the shit? Like, I mean...
Yeah. It fell off the bandwagon after you started having to pay for, like, DLC packs and that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think, Taylor? Is this the game? From what you've seen, I mean, I know you're not an FPS person, but does this kind of, like, strike you as something that's going to capture the audience back?
Maybe some of them. I don't think everyone is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some people will probably go back to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think... I don't know. I mean, it looks good. It looks promising. I want to see more details, but... I mean, they're going to have to come up with a really fresh way to do World War II. You know? And it's not... Assassin, I don't know if you saw any info on this, but it's not like a... It's not like a greatest hits of World War II battles. It's kind of like not just action-packed the entire time, I guess. It's not just going to be like action upon action upon action. It's going to be like very character-driven.
Fine with me.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. For me, it's just like if I play a Call of Duty game, I want action, action, action. I don't want like Infinite Warfare was borderline. That campaign I thought was amazing. That campaign was borderline too much story for me. Too much character investigation for me. Dude, they had the kind of like the tower too. If you think about it. In the campaign. What, Assassin, you're shaking your head. Why are you shaking your head?
They didn't have the tower. You kind of bring bunch of human players
you had like the central hub, like you go back to
but they've had that since like I believe they had in Black Ops 3. I know they had it in some other games. I have brain fire or whatever.
I don't think they had that in Advanced Warfare.
Oh, I know they had it in some other games, but definitely 3.
Anyway, I don't know. I think it's promising. I don't know. People are like overhyping this so much. I think I'm worried about that. I'm so worried about that because I think they're gonna get the wrong opinion. You know what I mean? I think Activision's going to be like, yes, this is acceptable to still have a season's pass. And yes, this is acceptable to, just bring back a World War II game and do nothing new with it. But hopefully there's a lot of new stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Go back to the chat really quick. Jizzle has no idea what he's talking about Call of Duty. He says they just release a new one every year, blah, blah, blah. It's not the same every year. The campaign, at least. So that's where I think people are really wanting something good is the campaign in this one.
You guys are going to hate this or disagree with me, I should say, but I really like the campaign in Ghosts.
What's wrong with you?
Assassin's Creed was great.
Just you see on Skype that little red circle? Just click on it.
I can't, dude. I can't. I'm serious. I really like the campaign. I think it's because of the dog. I thought the dog was badass.
That is a reason I would like Call of Duty. It's for a dog.
See?
He's barely in the game.
Do you know what my daughter said? My daughter said the best Call of Duty was Ghosts because when she played an online multiplayer, she would always get the dog perk, and the dog would just be around killing people.
That's what I would do.
You guys are unbelievable.
Awesome.
Jizzle wants to clarify. He says it's not the same every year. but really not much difference. Like Tony Hawk Underground versus Tony Hawk Skate. Like how many different takes do we need? Well, I mean, in fairness, Call of Duty has a lot more story than friggin' Tony Hawk, but I don't know. I think this could be refreshing. It could be really good, but I don't know. Are they gonna have a guns problem, Assassin? Do you think in multiplayer?
No.
No, Assassin's already like got his footy pajamas on. I can't believe I'm even trying to get him to talk bad about this because he's like already in on the deluxe edition, even though he says he's not.
No, I am not buying that $100 version. There's no fucking way. I am not supporting Activision with season passes.
All right. Well, when we find out more information, we will talk more about Call of Duty. But interesting, at the least, could be a flop. Who knows? Could be amazing. Graphics are promising, but that's not an in-game engine. I don't believe that shit for one sec. All right, moving on to something I think we all care about because some of us have 4K and some of us have 1080p. So we kind of wanted to see these pictures in action when, we heard the Microsoft, let out some information through Digital Foundry and Eurogamer and a couple other outlets, Gamasutra, about the Scorpio stuff and talking about, how it's going to be really good for 1080p people as well, not just 4K. But we finally have some private tech demo screens of Scorpio hardware, quote unquote, demoing what the differences are going to be between the Xbox One and the Scorpio on a 1080p display and a Scorpio on 4K native. So I know you're not going to really see it in this screenshot because we only do the podcast in 720p and it's a little smaller. But if you guys haven't seen this, definitely go to Windows Central and look at Jez's article about this, and you can get the high-res images and really see for yourself how it's going to probably look on your TV. But when you guys looked at these Sarah Palin images, were you guys impressed, or were you guys not impressed, or what do you guys think?
Man, I don't want to see any more hype. Just release the damn thing by now. Like, I know it's going to be good, right? It's going to be great no matter what TV play on. Just release it. I don't want to see screenshots left and right and be like, hey, look at this ice cream that you don't have right now. But why?
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair point. I think releasing this stuff so far ahead of time could be dangerous for Microsoft. I think a lot of people are starting to feel the way you are, clowns, so it's definitely a fair point.
I'll put it in layman terms for some people that may be listening, for Assassin, in case he doesn't understand. It's like Assassin picking up a swimsuit model calendar or a Maxim magazine. It's just like the pictures are there, but where is it?
Assassin with his Playboy subscription, like it's on the paper, but it's in the mag. But where just give me the damn real thing, right? Enrique says in the chat, I've also heard it referred to as Caitlyn Jenner. Now, I don't see the Caitlyn Jenner, but the Sarah Palin, I do see the Sarah Palin comparison. So,
I mean, let's hope it doesn't turn out to be like a Donald Trump comparison, right?
Wow.
All the big talk and then none delivered.
That's right. So Taylor, you looked at these screens, I'm sure. What did you think? Did you see the differences?
Yeah, I could see the differences. I think I want to say the monitor I have at work is actually a 1080p, and that's the one that I was looking at the images on. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I could see pretty big differences between Xbox One and the 4K on 1080p. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely promising. I mean, and like a couple of people have said in the live chat, like this is just first kind of tech demo screens. This isn't, this isn't a game. This is just a tech demo. Nothing you can actually compare it to yourself from your own playtime, and it's early. So this is just kind of like a first look. So I expect it to look even better than it did, on that article. And even so, it looks pretty damn good. I mean, I game on a 4K TV usually, so I mean, I'm looking at that Scorpio 4K native screenshot that they had, and I'm saying, wow, there's a huge difference because all of these are using Xbox One assets. Like these Sarah Palin images are all Xbox One assets. They're not. It's not like, it's not like they have 4K assets and that's the difference. When you look at the Xbox One versus the Scorpio 4K native, it's not like the 4K native is 4K assets as well. We'll have another picture comparison in a second with 4K assets, but it's literally just like up resolution and sharpening and anti-aliasing and all that. So, and even on the 1080p display, like people like Assassin, you have a 4K TV, so Clowns and Taylor, I think, are the only ones who don't. But like even for you guys, like a Scorpio, it looks like, to me, to my eye, it looks like that there's going to be a tangible improvement, which is nice.
I mean, I can't wait to hook it into my 720p monitor DVI from an HDMI to DVI.
You are not doing that. I will cringe if you do that.
5 millisecond delay. I can't wait to play that on that, baby.
I will cringe, dude. Cringe. But yeah, Assassin, you saw the images. You have a 4K TV, so did you pitch a tent downstairs when you saw this, or what was your feeling?
Well, I saw it on my phone, and it wasn't probably the best way to see them.
Actually, it's better than your monitor because your phone is a Galaxy S7, which is actually 1440p. So,
Well, I mean, I didn't really see many differences, but I didn't zoom in.
So you can wait. An Assassin could probably get one of those mini HDMI outs to like a large HDMI and hook it Scorpio into that and play it on the go. Is that possible?
No, dude, because it's not an HDMI in. It's only HDMI out, bro. Jeez, that's great.
I mean, you could always switch it around, right? It should work.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. But yeah, obviously, to me, the biggest difference is, and you can't really see it here, but the biggest difference is where the Xbox One to the 4K native. The 1080p, much sharper lines. You can tell in the lips. You can even tell on this stream, the lips rather are much more detailed on the 4K render on 1080p display. So kudos to them for showing that off, and I think that's how they need to market Scorpio, because a lot of people aren't jumping ship to 4K. I mean, it's being adopted quickly, but a lot of people don't have the money to just drop on a 4K TV, so they want to see what's it going to do to my existing TV, and I think they're doing a good job so far. They just need to, they need to put out stuff like BioShock or, big hitting games that are beautiful and very detailed. They need to put out games like that and show comparisons and to really get people. But this was a good start with the Sarah Palin thing. But the Beetle, right? Did you guys see the Beetle? That was actually
It's a ladybug.
Or a ladybug or whatever it is. One of the two. A yellow ladybug, apparently. So we're going to cover the whole screen with this, but this was obviously courtesy of Windows Central, like I said before. This was the yellow ladybug with, just up resolution to 4K. You're not going to be able to see, obviously, 4K on this broadcast, but they had this on the site. Up resolution to 4K from Xbox One assets, and it was clearly very sharp. Like, if you looked at it on a 4K TV, it was sharp. If you look on it on a nice monitor, it's very sharp. But then, if you look at it, like, look at this, and then look at what Scorpio is going to do with 4K improvements, with 4K assets. So, you go from that to this. So, that's before, that's after. So, better lighting, obviously, better textures on the surface. It looks like a petal on a flower, maybe. More like little bristles or whatever on the arms of the ladybug, and then a lot better lighting on the body, a lot better shading. So, what did you guys think of the ladybug comparison?
Why?
You didn't see it, Clowns, did you? You said you didn't. See it.
I see it on the broadcast, but like, why would they put a picture of a ladybug? Like, what does that tell a gamer, that you can see ladybugs crystal clear in the Scorpio?
No, but what do you want them to use? The sun?
A cow? A lion? How about like something from the African safari, like lions and tigers and bears, oh my, or something like wilderness where there's a lot of depth to like what you see out there, swamps and crocodiles, the Nile River.
Well, I think Sim actually in the YouTube chat made a good point. This is zoomed in to 2 times zoom, so like I think so it's gonna even look better further away. So if they did like something what you're saying, clowns, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but if they did something like what you were saying, it would be zoomed out. Like they just wanted to zoom in so you could see the actual detail.
You know, like National Geographic, they go out there and they capture like the crocodiles like slamming down on some wildlife or something. Well, they can zoom in like on the teeth as they're crushing the wildlife.
They could.
I mean, that would be pretty. You'd be able to see like the groves and the crocodile's teeth and stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
Dude, you should send that recommendation to Jez and see if he can pass the word along, because they're not done. I mean, this is only April, so I mean, they're gonna have to have stuff for E3. They're gonna have to have stuff for after E3 to show people that, I mean, that it's more powerful and that they should buy it whether they have a 1080p or 4K. So, you know, it could happen. Enrique says Planet Earth is in 4K now. Yeah, if you have a Xbox One S, people listen to this podcast, and you don't have Planet Earth, I highly recommend it. Planet Earth 2 looks incredible. Assassin, you have to get Planet Earth 2.
See, like, why can't we see something from Planet Earth? That'd be kind of cool. I don't want to see some ladybug. If that's in Planet Earth, you know, I feel bad if the ladybug's in there, but they should take it out immediately.
Wow.
Okay.
What were we gonna say, Taylor?
I wanted to point out what Sobsky had said in the chat.
Okay.
This wasn't for gamers. This was to show developers what they can do with Scorpio. And I absolutely agree with that. Because it kind of shows... Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, so developers stare at ladybugs when they're making games, and they're like, look at that ladybug.
It's to show them how crystal clear they can get everything.
I'm gonna go to the next dev working on Outlast 2 and be like, did you see the ladybug? Yeah, man.
They'll probably
Can we stab it in the game? No, it's too beautiful.
Dude, knowing some of the devs that I've met personally, some of those devs would probably be like, "Whoa, check out that freaking ladybug."
Well, they probably stare at trees when they're making trees for their games.
Dude,
so ladybugs are a lot more cooler than a tree.
Dude, remember Grassgate from what was that, GTA 5?
Yeah.
Grassgate, when everyone was like, "Oh, the grass is way better on PlayStation or whatever. The grass is better on PC."
There's more blades of grass right here.
No offense, right? No offense to anybody out there, but that ladybug would be really cool in 8-bit and Dropsy the Clown.
It would. I agree. But Taylor, yeah, I mean, that's a good point to bring up. I mean, you know, a lot of you know, it was a tech demo, so I'm sure there were a lot of devs there that were like, "Oh, you know, this thing's for real." Like, you know, because a lot of people want to. I mean, a lot of devs that don't want to like put the time in on the dev kits want to see before they believe, kind of thing. You know, I don't think that. I mean, a lot of them are smart enough to kind of know, but then there's a lot of them that are just like, okay, well, we're not going to build something for this dev kit until we, you know, and try to max it out until we see what it can do. So maybe that's why this was done. I mean, why else would it be a private tech demo? It's not a private tech demo to the press because, you know, none of the press can release this thing. The only people who've had information is Windows Central, Eurogamer, and Gamasutra. And Gamasutra didn't even have really pictures or anything. They just had like one picture. So it was doubt. I would agree with that, Sobsky and Taylor. I think it was probably focused more towards devs just based on that fact. But I think Clowns has a point too, because to get gamers excited for this more than just like, oh, it's a damn ladybug, like they need to bring in, like I said, they need to bring in like the BioShocks of the world. They need to bring in like Battlefield or like, you know, maybe even like Sunset Overdrive or like something like that to be like, oh, I saw that in 1080p. This looks way better. I know it's gonna look way better now because, you know, I'm comparing it and whatever. So they need something to actually compare it to. They can't just like be looking at Sarah Palin's face and getting hyped for that. So, what else? Scorpio. This is a good point to bring up really quick before we get off this topic. Is Scorpio gonna be impacted by parity? Enrique asks. So is Scorpio gonna get hit because PlayStation 4 Pro can't get to the spec 4K native on everything, or
Probably some games. I mean, wasn't what was it, Unity for both PlayStation and Xbox stuck at 900p because they wanted both games to look the same?
Yep. That's a good point. I think it's going to affect some games, but then again, like so many games are on PC now too, and PC already has these assets, so why not just bring them over? Why, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the games that used to happen to didn't have PC counterparts that they could, that they could just port over the assets or whatever. So I think now that there's so many games on PC, like everything's on PC now, like even the exclusives, right? Like Dead Rising 4 is on PC. Forza Horizon 3 is on PC. Quantum Break. I mean, everything. Voodoo Vince, for Christ's sake, is on PC. So, who knows? Sobsky says, want to see a comparison of Master Chief's armor or something. Or a weapon. And I think we will. I mean, I don't think they were willing to put that out just yet. I think this is just stuff from a tech demo that probably went on like a couple months ago. So I don't think they're ready for that yet. Will Red Dead 2 be on PC? I think it will. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. But yeah, clowns are Taylor real quick on whether or not this will be affected by parity. No?
I don't know.
No comment, yeah.
All right. Moving on then. We looked at Beatles. Now we're moving on to Hot Wheels. This is a child podcast, apparently. So
It's a ladybug.
whatever. Ladybugs. Even worse. Ladybugs to Hot Wheels. Next, we're going to be talking about triangles, squares, and circles and putting them in the right spot. Hot Wheels. Yay. Was the Horizon 3 Hot Wheels coming May 9th. So if you have the expansion pass, this is included. So this is the second expansion that is included in the expansion pass. So you've got Blizzard Mountain and you've got the Hot Wheels one. So that's pretty good value for what you pay for the expansion pass, I think.
Yep.
Especially since individually, both of those. Actually, I don't remember what Blizzard Mountain was. Was that $20 or was that $25?
No, I don't think it was 25.
Was it 20? It must have been 20 then. So individually, I think both of them were, $20 each. So, this one's going to be 20 if you don't have it. It's coming on May 9th for both the expansion pass holders and for people that don't have it. 6 new islands, so it doesn't take place on the same map. It's kind of like individual islands that connects via the Hot Wheels ramps and stuff, tracks. There's going to be loops, corkscrews, half pipes, dinosaurs even, I heard. So there's going to be tons of shit, loop-de-loops, inverted tracks, everything. Everything you can think of in the Hot Wheels universe. When you were a kid and you made Hot Wheels, that shit's going to be in it. So there's going to be an all-new campaign, 28 new achievements, 500 gamer score, and 10 new cars. So including a barn find, which I thought was pretty funny because where is there going to be a barn in relation to Hot Wheels? I thought that was kind of weird.
I have one question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Assassin, do we have the expansion pass?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Blizzard Mountain was 20.
Okay, Blizzard Mountain was 20. This is 20, so $40 of value. Pretty good damn value, I think, this time around from Forza. Bravo. Because usually they include like a stupid Porsche. I say stupid. It's not stupid for everyone, but for me, Porsche in every single game is just ridiculous. It was just like cars and stuff. It wasn't really like anything of substance, like campaign or anything. Rated Demonic in the YouTube chat says Horizon 3 cannot do anything wrong at the moment. This DLC is a license to print money. Who does not love Hot Wheels? So that's kind of what I wanted to ask first, is kind of getting into this topic, is doesn't this appeal to everyone, it being Hot Wheels? Like, doesn't this even make Forza Horizon 3 more of a casual racing fan game?
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. What if you like Matchbox?
Well, suck it up.
Jesus, man.
I had to say, could they do a mix-up between Matchbox and Hot Wheels, maybe?
Dude, maybe Gran Turismo will have a Matchbox DLC in order to compete.
Possible. Or in Project Cars 2.
Or in Project Cars 2. Jesus, don't even get me started on that. Assassin or Taylor, do you think this kind of like makes it appeal to a bigger audience now, and you think everyone's pretty happy about this Hot Wheels?
I think a lot of people are, and then because then they don't have to buy a GTA to play the same thing.
Very good, very good. GTA kind of did something very similar to this already. If people are fans of GTA Online, you will think this looks very familiar. And undoubtedly, I would say that this was inspired by that. And if it wasn't, I'd be very shocked because it looks very similar. But nonetheless, Forza is an infinitely better racing game than GTA Online racing. So I'm way more excited for Hot Wheels than I will ever be excited for GTA Online racing. So, yeah. Taylor, what do you think? Hot Wheels? Yeah?
Yeah, I kind of want to get the game now.
See, this is what people have been saying. Like, Taylor says it, Sagibot. I still don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. He says, don't like racing games at all, and I want this. So, yeah. What were you going to say, Taylor?
Oh, nothing.
Oh.
I was actually going to point out Sagebot, or however you say his name.
I don't know how to say that because it's like...
Neither do I.
It's like Sagebot, but there's an I in between, so it's like Sagibot, or... Please give us...
Is it Sagibot, maybe?
Please type in the chat pronunciation of your name.
Yes, please phonetically type out your name, please, so we can pronounce it properly. Because I'm really happy you typed that, and you are a good supporter of the show. So, Vault Boy 101 Clowns, to address your point, says it wishes it was Hot Wheels. Matchbox.
Well, I like Matchbox better because when I was a little kid at my dad's pizza place, I used to get bored. There used to be like a little drugstore at the corner, and they only sold Matchbox, and it would be like special Matchbox cars in the little boxes, not like the packages, but these were actual boxes. And he'd have them like on a spinny thing, and every week he'd get like a different one in, and the Hot Wheels promoter, or the Matchbox promoters would actually be there like every week giving him like a new car. And I just remember that. I'll never forget it.
So you're a little biased, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and I think those loop-de-loops are so cheap, to be honest with you. As a kid, if you ever got those sets, like, they didn't last long. A lot of times they came apart.
I still have some of those, and they don't come apart.
Well, you probably don't play them that much, but as a kid, when I played them constantly, nonstop, like, they would disconnect. I'd lose the pieces because they would disconnect.
Well,
the
were
cars
you, like,
would, like...
picking them, or were you playing with them?
No, actually, I'm like you, Assassin. I didn't put all my toys on a shelf. I actually played with them as a kid.
I have a shit ton of Hot Wheels, and I just put all those cars as much as I could put on the track.
I don't know, man. Like, my stuff came apart, missing pieces. I even had, like, the little sets that it would box up with a handle. Like, you would put, like, the straps on, and they'd click and box up with the handle, and I'd carry them to, like, my grandpa's house and play with them at Christmas. And those things even lost like gas pumps off them.
Wow. Middle-aged gamer wants to know how much the expansion pass is. I think it's $30, but I could be wrong. I don't remember because I got the Ultimate Edition of the game, so I don't remember what it is. Was it 25 or was it 30, Assassin?
It was, I think, 35.
It was 35? No way. Hold on.
Because you got $10 off of if you had the Ultimate Edition.
Oh,
so
right.
That's funny.
Yes. Okay. So now, yeah, I do know then. Yeah, he's right. He's right. I was thinking of some other game, I guess. But the Ultimate Edition did not include the expansion pass. There was a huge hoopla about that. But yes, you did get $10 off if you have VIP. So you don't necessarily have to have the Ultimate Edition. You just have to have VIP. But yeah, I mean, this game has been on sale a lot. So I know people... Rob Medic in the YouTube chat says this DLC is actually going to sell the game again, and I think we all agree. Taylor obviously agrees because she wants it now. But you know, there's been deals on this. Like, you can get some pretty good deals on Horizon 3. Like, I feel like the Ultimate Edition was pretty cheap recently. Wasn't
Nope.
it in one of the? It was in one of the sales. I don't know if it was in the spring sale, if it was in deals with gold or something. But Forza Horizon 3 Ultimate Edition right now, you can get it on eBay for like $70.
And who knows? There could be a Game of the Year edition because it won some Game of the Year. Just like
Yeah, that's a good point.
Dark Souls just came out with one of those.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Game of the Year edition, a little bit cheaper, maybe like.
I
I
think
don't know
it's
if
60 with all the stuff in it.
if it's 60 with all the stuff, that'd be huge, huge. But yeah, anything else to say about this? I mean, I don't. It's weird for me to have a game with Hot Wheels in it, but I'm like a racing game like this, like Forza. I think of Forza. I think of like fancy cars. Like I want my Bugattis, I want my Ferraris. You know, I want my Lamborghinis, and I'm gonna be racing them on friggin' Hot Wheels tracks. Like, ugh.
I mean, it's kind of cool, and I wish they would. I don't know yet if they are or not, but like, what if they included like weather conditions on these rubbery
They
slopes?
probably are.
That would be kind of cool. I remember as a kid, I would take like the soap powder Tide, not the liquid, like the actual like powder.
Yeah, the powder.
And
Yeah.
I'd dump it on some of my play sets and pretend it was snow, like the whole box, like a big box like this.
That's incredible.
And my mom would get so mad,
I'm sure, dude. That stuff was fucking no joke.
but the car smelled good.
That's true. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. Any more on this Hot Wheels? Yeah. We're gonna get a 4GwQPodcast race because Taylor's gonna buy Forza now.
4 Guys versus TXI.
Okay, well, I
Yes!
just dropped $150.
I saw that. What the hell did you drop that on again?
Fallout Boy.
Oh my god. That's a lot of money to drop on Fallout Boy.
It's a limited edition thing. They are only selling 1,000 of them, and that included the shipping. But you get like the vinyl, a CD, 2 shirts, a sweatshirt, a poster,
Oh wow. Okay.
and like 2 other things, I think.
Wow, that is a lot actually for $150. And there's only 1,000. So what are you not gonna open it, or are you gonna open it, or?
Obviously, I'm gonna open it.
Oh my goodness, only 1,000. You should have bought 2 then.
Yeah, I don't have that much money.
$200, yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, all right. I realized that like right after I said it, I'm like, shit, never mind. This is gonna
It's
go
like
well.
my entire paycheck.
Right.
It's 300.
Yeah, so forget that. But yeah, look out for this Hot Wheels DLC. Yeah, $20 or free with the expansion pass, May 9th. And really quick before we end the show, haven't done this in a while, so I want to just do it one time, see how it goes, and see if we're gonna bring it back as a permanent thing again. PlayStation Plus versus Games with Gold in the epic showdown of May 2017. So with PlayStation Plus, you get Tales of the Borderlands, the entire series, which is amazing, if I do say so myself. It's a Telltale series, so if you're a fan of Borderlands and you're a fan of Telltale, you are going to love Tales of the Borderlands. Absolutely love it. It's a must-have. Even if you're not a huge fan of Telltale, I think the Borderlands lore is excellent, even though it's not like true to the actual Borderlands story. So look out for that next month for PlayStation Plus games. Also, Abzu, which I know is Assassin's favorite game to watch stream before he falls asleep. So if you're unfamiliar with Abzu is like kind of like a semi-linear kind of like walking simulator, but you're swimming. In which case, you do a few. I wouldn't say puzzles, but along the way you do kind of like semi-puzzles. It's a really beautiful game. The art style reminds me a lot of like Wind Waker on the GameCube or the remake that's on the Wii U. You can kind of like, as you're swimming and diving and with the fishes, you can like jump with them out of the water, and you can get dolphins to kind of like play with you, and you can jump onto like whales and sharks and stuff and ride on them and stuff like that. But it's very much so a walking simulator, and I think the most playtime you'll probably get out of it is like 3 hours. But
So all in all, it's better than Lara Croft over there.
well, Games with Gold, we've got Gianna Sisters, Twisted Dreams Director's Cut, and we've got Lara Croft, the Temple of Osiris, which is isn't that really old, that game?
Yeah.
Lara Croft, Temple of Osiris. Which is the first one was Guardian of Light. Temple of Osiris is the one that's on Xbox One. So, but then you got the 360 games, so Star Wars Force Unleashed 2 and Lego Star Wars Complete Saga, which kind of makes up for the Xbox One games being absolutely trash.
No.
Yeah,
The Force Unleashed, I don't think a lot of people are going to play that, because I think the first one was kind of bad. And even Assassin, as a big Star Wars fan, I saw him play it for maybe like an hour after it went backwards compatible and it was free. He was like, I was like, Assassin,
Well, I
you play
own
Force Unleashed?
3
He's
or
like-
4 copies of that game. Like,
And he's
I don't
like-
need to play it again.
He's like, it's so-so. I was like, what do you mean it's so-so? I played it once. I can't play it again.
Multiple times, not just once.
Well, I don't know. I'm excited for Force Unleashed 2 because I've actually never played Force Unleashed 2. I only played the first one. So that's why I'm leaning toward the Xbox One games this month. But if I'm being fair, I would say the PlayStation Plus games are probably better than the Xbox games this month.
You got Tales from the Borderlands right there. That's better than that Lara Croft that's worth like no money. It's worth negative money because it sucks so bad. Gianna Sisters, I think, has some potential maybe at $1. But Force Unleashed should be like free at garage sales. And
Free on your Xbox.
well, I mean, everywhere it should be free game stuff. You should be able to walk in and be like, can I get that crappy game Force Unleashed? Yeah, sure. Here's this. It's in the dumpster. Go pick it up.
Wow.
Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, that is actually kind of good. So, I mean, that's all
Kinda
right.
good.
I'd
Easy.
say worth $750 at the very least.
Well, Assassin, do tell me how many games are in the Complete Saga because I can't remember.
6.
Is it actually 6 though, or is it like 5 and change?
Well, it's 6 episodes, but it's combining 2 games, I guess you could say.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was thinking. Okay.
But it doesn't even really feel like 2 games. It feels like they should have been combined the whole time. And that somebody at, was it TT Games Assassin?
Well, the first 2 Lego Star Wars 1 and 2 were on the GameCube and PS2. And then the Complete Saga came out when the Wii came out.
Right. Okay. But
So,
playtime wise, how long would you say the Complete Saga is?
You could get a shit ton of hours out of that. I'm
Yeah.
still playing it whenever I feel like it.
See, that's
Okay. I got to cut you off right there. Because we have the Complete Saga. I got it backwards compatible.
yeah.
And
And I own the disc too.
I never see Assassin play it at all.
I streamed it a few times.
For like an hour for the City of Phoenix, I think, one time.
No, because I
I'd
was
have to agree with
playing.
Clowns on that one.
I was playing 1 through 6 before episode 7 was coming out.
Oh, that's true. I do remember that too. But yeah, if you're just comparing like playtime, like, and you just ignore, even if you just ignore the Xbox One games, or even if you just ignore the Xbox 360 games, you can go either way this time. There's way more playtime on the Xbox, on the Games of Gold side. So if you're looking for playtime, then Games of Gold are the way to go. But if you're looking for quality, if you ignore the 360 games and it's just Xbox One versus PlayStation Plus, PlayStation 4, I would say the PlayStation 4 one wins significantly.
Well, shouldn't we also compare the PS3 games since we're doing 360?
Well, no, because you can't play the PS3 games on PlayStation 4.
Oh, you have a point with that. Yeah, good point.
So that's the thing. And that's the thing. Now that they've added the 360 backwards compatible games, like it's almost a win every month for Games of Gold because you're getting so many more games and so much more playtime. But the quality of the games on the PlayStation side is just so good this time. You know, Abzu is I don't know what the meta score is, but I know GameSpot gave it like a 9. IGN gave it like an 8.5. Abzu's an 83 meta, so I mean that's a good game. Tales of the Borderlands. Let me see. Tales of the Borderlands. I mean, Tales of the Borderlands is on Xbox One is an 88 meta. Xbox, PlayStation 4, it's an 86. So, I mean, two mid to high 80 Metascore games. I mean, that's pretty freaking good for offerings for PlayStation Plus. I mean, Gianna Sisters, guarantee that's not in the 80s on meta. And Lara Croft Temple of Osiris, forget it. Forget it. Taylor, what do you think about this?
I really wasn't impressed by any of the games this month on either system.
Really?
Yeah.
Lara Croft Temple of Osiris, 74 on PlayStation. That's way higher than I thought it would be. Guardian of Light actually is an 84 meta, but on but the sequel, the one that's being offered for free, Temple of Osiris, is a 74, so not that great. Yeah, Taylor. Oh, go ahead, Clowns.
Gianna Sisters got an 80.
Are you serious? No way.
Yep.
So, as people pointed out in the chat, Gianna Sisters is, yeah, it's a platformer. It's fairly difficult. I dabble with it a little bit, but just like Rated Demonic said in the chat, if you're an achievement hunter, which a lot of people play the games, the gold games, just for achievements. If you're an achievement hunter, forget it. Some of the hardest achievements out there, and even Rand said that the other night on TXR. Like, and he's a huge achievement hunter, obviously. Forget it. Just forget it. The achievements are just very difficult on it. So, so yeah, okay. So Taylor wasn't impressed with either side. Clowns, you give it to.
Tales of the Borderlands kills everything.
All right, so PlayStation Plus for Clowns. Assassin.
Could be a little biased here, but Xbox.
Oh, and you're gonna lose.
Star Wars.
You're gonna lose because I say PlayStation Plus. So it's 2v1 v none because, or v1, 2v1 v1 because Taylor says none of it's good. You say Xbox. We say PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus wins.
You ready for this? All right, so Gianna Sisters on PS4 got 80. On 360, got a 69.
What?
Yes.
That's really weird.
It's so weird.
That is weird. All right, people. Well, anyway, these games are, I don't know when the PlayStation Plus games usually come free because I just download them way later, like probably at the end of the month. But the Games with Gold games should be coming like, maybe even before May comes. So look up from like April 30th. But is Gianna Sisters the first game that's offered or the second game that's offered?
First.
If that's the first game that's offered, woof. Ugh. Awful. What about Force Unleashed 2 is the first game that's offered? Or
Yep.
that's not bad then.
Yep.
That's not bad. All right, and with that, we are Dunzo. Oh, you know what I wanted to say about the FanFest thing? I didn't want to get into it out of respect for people who didn't get in because, you know what, it was a shitty situation and it will definitely change for next year, but I got back in. So I'm going to FanFest, so there'll be a lot of pictures and videos about that. So the FanFest debacle still goes on, but, at least they fixed it and it actually semi-worked on Wednesday. So I was able to get a spot, luckily. But hopefully they change it, and I really hope that everybody has a chance, at least an equal chance, to get it next year. Because this year you definitely did not even have an equal chance for multiple reasons: internet speed, computer speed, time zones, that kind of thing. So hopefully next year they fix that. And I didn't want to talk about it in depth because I don't want people. Because I feel bad. I honestly feel bad for a lot of people that didn't get in because. There are a lot of diehard Xbox fans that didn't get it, that had it the first time but didn't get it the second time, and it's really a shitty situation. So, but they did rectify it by offering all the people who had registered free E3 tickets. So that was good on them to rectify it like that, because initially they just offered 3-month gold, and that was unacceptable in my opinion. But yeah. Anyway, so other than that, we're done. Assassin, looking sexy as always. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I have one thing.
Yeah.
If you play Battlefield 1, join the 4GwQPodcast platoon.
Yes, join that. It is active. We play that very often. So if you want to play Battlefield, definitely join that because it is very, very active. And Assassin is like always down to play Battlefield, and Assassin's on Xbox probably like 16 hours a day. So
No.
yeah, he is, but he's just being modest.
No.
All right, so if you would check out our website, I'm going to shout out the website first this week because we've got some awesome additions. We've got some great reviews. We are on OpenCritic now, so our reviews are on OpenCritic as well. We've got some cool reviews that went up the past couple weeks. So one for Thimbleweed Park, specifically that just went out most recently that got liked and retweeted by Thimbleweed people because it was very, very good. It was a guest review done by my brother, so very good. And we've got some other games that we were reviewing. Outlast 2, we'll have a review for that soon. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Are the two newest that we've gotten, so we'll have those up soon. So, yeah, 4GwQPodcast.com is the website. YouTube, 4GwQPodcast, you're obviously watching on that tonight. Definitely subscribe if you liked what you saw tonight and if you liked what you've seen in the past, and definitely give us a like. That would be amazing.
To add to that, I'll probably be uploading the Outlast 2 playthrough on YouTube. See how that will work out.
So yeah, so definitely look for that on YouTube because Assassin pooped his pants earlier by streaming Outlast.
No.
So, follow us on Twitter. That's where you get probably like all the information about the podcast. 4GwQPodcast is the handle on that. Yeah, and Facebook. Did you check the messages, Assassin? Or
I went on there a few times. It's yeah.
Yeah, all right. 4GwQPodcast is our Facebook, and our Twitch. 4GwQPodcast, Beam 4GwQPodcast. Just look up 4GwQPodcast. You'll find us everywhere. Other than that, yeah, we're out of here. See you.